Hey guys, it's Adam from Burwood Guitars, and this I think is part 3 of the eBay Lightning Boy build. I'm going to call it that because I'm going to keep the customer's name private. So this is it. This is the first of the 2 parts of the neck that'll extend into the body. Okay, so those are the 3 screws. I will use slightly longer screws than these particular ones, but once it's all glued down, the glue would hold it anyway. Okay, so what we've got is I've routed the table routed the side edges. They haven't been smoothed off as yet, so they're still fairly slightly rough, mostly okay. Now what we've got is Tasmanian oak for the neck, which is a lovely straight, strong timber. I generally use it for most of the Lightning Boy builds. This particular fretboard is silky oak. Now it's not hasn't been given any oil yet, so it's not as bright as it could be. But wait till that gets an oil on it, and it'll absolutely pop. What we've got is I've decided to go for rosewood dot markings, which are lovely and dark. They're kind of slightly bullet shaped, and against I don't know if that'll work, but against the timber, it'll certainly stand out. You can just see that there against that timber. It will stand out really, really nicely. And on the side of the neck, I usually with these guitars I do burn marks, so burn dots in here. So there's a mixture of kind of the rustic and the and the fine. Now, I basically use leftover timber to do this, and I saw Mike Snowden do this on one of his videos, and I have done a video on this before, but I'll just give a brief plug again to him because it's great. All these leftover bits of timber and stuff like that, you can use them for all sorts of great things, not least dot markers. Now I will say, I went to a supermarket, I suppose down here we've got Aldi, and a few months ago, and I did get a set of these, and they're basically plug makers, I suppose. Yeah, I did get a set, and it's a nice little set, and to be honest with you, it actually works okay, but not great. It was difficult. They burnt quite easily, and I had more failures than success. So what I did do, well, while I was purchasing those, I thought, oh, this is great. But I did actually go to Stu Mac, and I got one of these sets, and it wasn't cheap. It was about $50 for the 2 pieces. But they're brilliant. They're really, really good. It's a lovely drill bit, sharp as heck, really hard, and cuts beautifully, I will say. And then there's that, which was I think the plug maker, and you use these basically to fill holes on. If a screw breaks, you'd basically bore in around the screw, pop it out, make the plug, and then pop it back in again. But they're definitely worth it if you want to make your own dot markers. Go for it. Otherwise, feel free to purchase them from your wonderful local supply company like MRWS, or in the States, I suppose, Giddy. So, or anyone else you choose to use. Any of the plethora of awesome people out there. Anyway, enough of that. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, this is not by all means the best way to do it. This is the way I do it. And there will be many wonderful fine craftsmen out there who say you're out of your freaking mind, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm always up for learning new things, but I don't have, at the moment, I don't actually have And look, I only just realised these little screws give you the depth. So I'm learning stuff all the time. So you've kind of got depth stops on these wonderful things, and how great's that? Because before I was using sticky tape, but now I might give this a go. I'll test it on a piece of, actually I'll test it on that. There you go. Let's see if this works. See how that works. All right, let's just give it a shot. Helps if I turn it on. Hey dog. All right. Let's see how that goes. Right, went a little deeper than I wanted it to. Let's try that again. That worked pretty well. It does want to move a little bit though, that's all. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I've just learnt something about my drill press that I didn't know I actually did. So I am by no means an expert, but I do like what I do. All right. So I feel good about that. I learned something today. All right. I've got a couple of clamps. And what I'm going to do, I usually use these, I'm going to pop these on there just to keep it steady. Now again, please don't write in and go, you suck, that's the wrong way to do it. This is just the way I do it. I'm not telling people how to do their thing, I'm just showing you how I do it my way. I did it my way. Alright, enough of that. Alright, so what I've got is, I put in a couple of stops, and I just use it pretty much to judge where I want the holes to be. You usually do it by eye. And it tends to work relatively well. Yep. But by all means, I always double check. I end up usually just going by eye anyway. Alright, so let's, this is always the nerve-wracking bit, so we're going to turn it on and we'll see how we go with our first press. I'm going to turn the light on, guys, sorry, it's going to get a little bit brighter. I like that. As I said before, this is certainly not rocket science, but it's the way I do it. It's a little rustic. Get most of them pretty good. That little stopper up there is very good. Look at that. Love learning new stuff. I still got the blue bit there. Alright, I'm going to run out here. Here we go. got a bit of gunk in the bottom there. Get that out. And that's cutting quite nicely actually. Cool. Get it out.